All right, so it's February 20th, Thursday, 2025. This is the day 21 of me trading full time again. So I'm coming off of a 19-day win streak. Had a loss yesterday. You can see the previous video that I posted is about a $775 loss. And then I started off today with a bang, and then I went red, and then I went green, and then I went red, and now I'm green. This is definitely going to be a pretty good gain. But right out the gate, man, I was up $1,800. Then I lost it and I was down 800. There's a lot of volatility in the morning, man, as I was building positions. Then I bounced back and was up 1,600. Then I was only up 300, and then I was flat and then down about $400, and then up 1,000, and then well over 1,000 now. You'll see. I'll show you the account right now, and then wrap it up at the end of the day. So it's definitely going to be a green day, though, and definitely going to make more than I lost yesterday, which is a good thing. It's 1:30 p.m., so the market's still open for 2.5 hours. I'm pretty much done for the most part. I'm not taking on any big positions. I got a couple small things. So overall, this profit should not really move much. Up 15, 20, 50. Actually, I lost money on Trade Desk. Made a little on SMCI. Made pretty good on Palantir 425 because I bought it when it dipped under 100 this morning. I can't believe it got as low as 95.80, but I'd figure it'd get back up to 100. Right now, it's actually at 102.78. So $425. I could have ended up being well over 1,000 though had I played it better. And then if you look at Palantir, this one actually was pretty nuts, man. We had that huge sell-off yesterday from 124 down to under 110, had a little bounce. But it opened weak this morning, like 108. It's kind of crazy. And the overall market was kind of selling off too. But it's kind of crazy how low it got. I figured it would slice 100, and I would buy it under 100 for a bounce, which anything you bought under 100, it did bounce back to actually as high as 101.78. Then it went back under 100 down to 98. And then even higher, 102. So it's making higher lows and higher highs up until about right now with actually 2 hours and 15 minutes left in the market. Who's to say where this is going to close overall? But this was on my radar this morning to get it under 100 for at least a retest, because like a rubber band, it only stretches so far. I mean, that's not to say a rubber band can't snap. Some stocks, man, just keep falling and falling. But for the most part, you're going to get like these bounces, Call it a dead cat bounce even. It's a terminology they use sometimes. But there's going to be some kind of a bounce. And going from 124 yesterday to 95, even if it goes to 80 or 70 or 60, you're going to get bounces along the way. And when you have all that speed and momentum, it stretches and it'll bounce back pretty quick, which is what it did. So I felt pretty confident playing that. MNDY 175 on the options. HIMS, just a quick scalp for $60. Deer, the one that cost me yesterday and cost me my first losing day since I started day trading again, because I had a 19-day winning streak. It would have been 20, and today would have been 21, but we reset. So we had a loss yesterday because of deer, and then now we're going to start the new winning streak. But anyway, I made out on that pretty good because I lost on it yesterday. I felt like I like it going down from 515 to get under 5. It's actually at 494 right now. So long story short, that was my biggest winner, $1,787. Charts here. So deer, continuation from yesterday. See, it had a high of 515, and it sold off a little bit into the close where it got back under 510. I did, I knew it would get back under 5. Who's to say when? Today, it just fell right in the morning, had a little bounce, then consolidated around 5, and then now it's, 495, and I feel like it could probably even get back down to 480. I wouldn't touch it until it gets to 480, but I wouldn't necessarily hold it short or the puts either. This is just a very resilient stock, I've noticed. Anyway, this is where the bulk of my money came. I got everything that I lost yesterday and more back from that place, so that was pretty cool. And then $55 on the S&P. But what's killing me, I mean, I'm still up, but what's killing me is APP. You'll see that I'm down 735 on it for the day. This contract specifically down $1,085 on. I'll close it by the end of the day. And then there's another contract I got open that's pretty much flat. But on those contracts, I made 1145. So, I took some big hits on app and then made some back. But overall net, I'm down 750. So we're about 1550. And the day should pretty much close here. And then the one that's messing me up, APP. See, now this level right here, if you look at the day after earnings, about 450. See, that's a good level to keep on the radar. However, I got too excited because this has also been a resilient stock. As if it was cascading down, I started positioning around 470, and then it kept going down and down. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, I remember 450 is the level that you probably shouldn't play with until you shouldn't play with a stock, that is, until it gets there. And you'll see it did find support, even though it wicked down to about 445. But you had that 10-point bounce from 450 back up to 460. And then you hit the next tier lower, under 440. Low reprieve to the mid 440s. And then another low at 432. It's hard to say how low this one goes today. If I had to guess, I'm going to say it's going to grind itself back up to around this level. I hope it does, because I still have a couple of calls open that expire next week. But if it doesn't, I think the selling pressure for the most part is probably done. We shall see. And there was news coming out of this stock, some bear report from the Bear Cave put out a report saying that I guess they do like ads for like mobile apps. They said, oh, their ads are garbage and all this other stuff, and they couldn't justify I forget what the forward earnings are, but they couldn't justify the premium on the stock, especially because it had such a huge run up. Like if you guys look at the daily chart, for example, I mean, this thing has been in such an uptrend. We had earnings here from 177 to 234. That was last November. We peaked at 420, dipped for a while, consolidated. It could very well get back down to 400 or 420, or even close this gap at 380. You see, this is a really ugly day here, but it's a Brazilian stock. As you can see, it could very well get back up to 460, 470 today. We'll see. That one's going to stay on the radar. Hopefully we get a little bit of a bounce. But overall, my positioning isn't that bad. I traded in and out a lot of it. I took a hit on it today, but made up with it on Palantir and Deere. So overall, a solid day. Yeah, so one lesson I want to point out today, as I was trying to catch that APP falling knife, I should have just, in my head before the day started, because I've been watching that stock for a while, just had that 450 target in mind and should have decided not to play anything until I got to that level, start building positions, get a good 10-point bounce. And then if I were to re-enter, which I did, cut if it drops, because right now the stock's at 435. So got to remain disciplined, got to have that plan before the day starts on the different stocks that you're watching and playing. I got to remind myself that, because overall, even though the account's going to be up, I took a hit on that stock, and the account could have been up much more, because there's no reason why I should have taken a hit on that if I played it the way I should have. But that's why this is not the easiest game. Anyway, always look at the longer term charts, daily, the 4 hour, the hour. And then when you're day trading, anywhere between like 3-minute and 15-minute charts usually works pretty good. But you should already know like your support and resistance levels. You should have some trend lines. Outside of that, I don't really use any indicators. Like I don't use the stochastics, the MACD, none of that stuff. Some people do, some people don't. I don't like to, put too much gunk on the chart. I like to keep it clean. But everybody's got their own approach. Anyway, we're back to start the winning streak all over again. So we're one day in right now in the new, we're going to try to beat that 19-day win streak. All right, so APP 5-minute chart after that bloodbath this morning, little bounce there. It was kind of hanging around 435, 440 area since last I spoke about it. I thought it could grind higher up to here. It did make a new low. And now it is grinding, though. So now it's at 443. We'll see if it could get, maybe 455 by the end of the day. It's 325, but I did close all the position. I was trading in and out a little bit more. And basically, I'll show you where the account is right now. So I'm at 2221.50. Basically, I pretty much made triple what I lost yesterday. But if you minus what I lost yesterday, that brings the last 2 days, including today and yesterday, to about 1,500. So that's like averaging 750 a day. Not bad. I mean, making over $2,000 in one day sounds a lot better than making 750 in a day, but you got to take into account the loss that I took yesterday, and then that's 2 days of work, but more than made up for today. So I'm happy about that. And then, you'll see right here, man, 57 orders. So there were a lot of trading going on, but I came in with a clear head. I didn't trade perfect, but I traded good enough, and I'm happy with how the day turned out.